Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, as sexy as it sounds, we've got a battle between two of the game's strongest food intake civilizations. As Hera playing as the Franks in blue gets ready to duke it out with Daniel playing as the Khmer or Khmer in red. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Blue Sheep. Why not take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today? And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, the Franks and the OG cavalry civilization, harkening back to the original game. Their knights come with extra line of sight. Their stables can be upgraded to work much faster, and all of their mounted units come with extra HP starting in the Feudal Age. That's to support their heavy cavalry on the field of battle against pesky, annoying things like, halberdiers that may want to snipe them. Well, the Franks can turn to their unique unit, the throwing axemen. A ranged infantry unit similar to the Malian Gibeta, whose range can be even further increased, and instead of a Kapinga, this one throws a giant axe. Where are you going, Mr. Hunter? You do not want to get too close to that boar. That help a player train as many throwing axemen as humanly possible. Well, the Franks can plop down many castles because those castles come at a discount. 15% cheaper in Castle Age, and then 25% cheaper in Imperial. That help feed a big militaristic population. The Frankish foragers, where are the berries? There they are to the south. Well, they work 15% faster than normal, and the Franks get all mill upgrades free of charge. Now let's take a look at our second sexy civilization, the Khmer. We've got a civ that focuses on some of the heaviest hitting units in the game. Their scorpions automatically come with extra range, can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Their battle elephants move faster than normal and can also be upgraded to hit even harder with a +3 attack. And their unique unit, we've seen it a lot recently, can be one of the most annoying units in the game to deal with head on. I am, of course, talking about the Ballista Elephant, which, as it sounds, is an elephant unit with a big old giant ballista mounted on his back, which, by the way, like the Scorpion for the Khmer, can be upgraded to also shoot a second bolt. Now, in order to take advantage of these bonuses, these upgrades, these incredibly powerful units, the Khmer do have to get their butts up to Castle Age and Imperial Age ASAP with a good amount of food in the bank. So to help them do this, they have some of the game's most interesting and wonky bonuses. To start with, you'll see that underneath the Roman numeral 1, there are no two houses like underneath Hera's Roman numeral 1. That's because the Khmer don't need any structures to go up to the next stage. As long as you've got the resources, you can click up, meaning you got 500 food. You don't need two structures to click up. Second, once you actually do click into whatever age, feudal, castle, even imperial, all buildings from that age become available to you. There is no such thing as a prerequisite. Hey, you want to build a stable? You don't need to build a barracks first. You want to build a siege workshop in Castle Age? You do not need to build a blacksmith first. There's no such thing. Now, lastly, their farmers do not need to bring food to a mill or town center. As long as the Khmer farmer is working on his farm, well, it automatically adds food to the stockpile. So if Daniel really wanted to, he could place a farm all the way over here. And just that one villager will keep work. Well, maybe not right here. I see there's some kind of forest here or something. Well, let's say right here, that farmer will just work until that farm endlessly does not have to drop off any food. Now, that very same farmer, in fact, all Khmer villagers can be harder to raid because they can actually garrison inside houses whenever there's a stranger danger in their base. And once that stranger danger has passed, they can come out of the houses, get back to work. Although remember, one big caveat with that is houses, unlike garrisoning in other structures, does not heal their HP. So if they go in hurt, injured, damaged, well, they're going to come out hurt, injured, or damaged, or damaged, I guess would be the right way to say it. So like I said, we've got a battle of one of the game's oldest and most powerful food-related bonuses versus one of the game's newest and still quite powerful food-related bonuses. I mean, the fact that you can plop down farms anywhere willy-nilly is not something to be scoffed at. Ooh, it does allow you to get food at an incredibly fast pace. Your villager does not have to return back and drop off any food. Hopefully, if this game goes into the later stages, we'll see the food count for the Khmer. Always fun to watch. It's basically what we all hope for our bank accounts. You know, you log in, you click your checking account, your savings account, whatever term account you have, and then you just see the number going up. It's what we all hope for in life. And the Khmer, well, they get to live that. Speaking of living it, speaking of living and dying and fighting and breathing and birthing and all that good stuff, let's take a look at the actual game without my nonsense. Let's take a look at the attack path. Pretty darn open from point A to B, and a fairly symmetrical spawn, one on the right side, one on the left side, both in the 3 to 9 o'clock positions, approximately, let's say 3:30 to 9:30, whatever it is, and the pretty much open. A couple of forests intervening, but let's take a look at where those resources are and see who is at risk or who might want to put down the pressure. Hera just discovered where his opponent is, whereas Daniel is just now heading out on the map. Might run into the scout if he veers south a little bit, but nope. Never mind. Our Khmer primary goal to the front, but not exposed anymore. Not with this wall off. Stone to the back as well. And where are your additional resources? He's got a little bit of extra gold off to the right, extra gold to the north of his base, and extra stone in the forward position. So additional resources not really well placed, except for this one extra patch of gold. And the way Daniel is walling this off, he will have access to 2 internal forests, which is not bad at all. As the Khmer, you generally want to make houses part of your wall off, especially, there you go, you see, for that reason alone, so that your units can go and garrison inside. Although, wait a second. This unit does have loom. Why did it stop? Why did it stop? It's getting body blocked now, and it is going to die. Hera draws first blood, but immediate retaliation by the town center. The villagers' cousins get into that structure. They fire their bow and arrow, the one they've been practicing every Sunday like good old archers. And the kill count stands at 1 to 1. One player losing 80 food worth of units, the other losing 50, but a villager. So you always have to factor in future earnings, future resource gatherings. By the way, Daniel gets a second scout. So things are not terrible here for either player. One loses a villager, one loses 2 scouts. Not the end of the world for either player at the moment. Primary gold off to the north for Hera, but it looks like he's already starting some kind of wall off. Is this his primary stone? Oh, that is incredibly forward, as is the second patch of gold. I don't like this little Bermuda Triangle of risky business here. He's got, like his opponent, an extra patch of gold to the back, and like his opponent, an extra patch of stone to the forward-ish southern portion. Now Hera, if he walls in the way he wants to wall in, will also have 1, 2 internal resources, but he'll have 1, 2, 3. I think Daniel only will have, I mean, yeah, I guess you could count this 1, 2, 3 as well. So, okay, a little bit of symmetry in the map positioning. Hera with a bit of a weak spot here. Daniel with a bit of a weak spot pretty much everywhere, to be honest. I mean, his secondary stone and tertiary gold are very exposed here. And he has carved himself a big old chunk of the map. We'll see how he can defend that if Hera is the one who actually is the aggressive. Now, both of these civilizations known for their very aggressive starts. Khmer usually with a faster castle, but maybe not by much when compared to the Franks. Both of them with their scout rushes, both of them currently spending a good amount of food on those scouts. Although, symmetry continues. Both of them on 4 scouts apiece. I mean, did you really need to delete a house? Could you not have maybe deleted a this palisade here and run in? I guess he really was antsy in the pantsy to get his scout units up here to defend his villagers. Okay, so maybe he did need to delete that house. I thought maybe he'd have some time veer off to the left. But like I said, both players sitting at 4 army count, the exact same 4 army count, the exact same 4 army count with no upgrades, by the way. And Hera had 1 villager. So again, for the first 14-15 minutes of the game, some good old symmetry. Let's take a look at their actual allocations. Identical allocations of villagers, except that Hera has 1 more on gold and 1 fewer villager. 1 fewer villager, 1 less villager on food. Although now he's able to catch up, and now basically the same allocation. This is going to be a pretty interesting little opening. I wonder who's going to hit Castle H first. Like I said, usually in this matchup, as powerful as the Franks are, I would say the Khmer generally the first to hit up. But now looking at the resources, unless he's already queued it up, he has queued it up. It is, in fact, going to be our Khmer, but not too far behind. Hera still just needs 100 food. Farmer being pulled off of his farm just so he can come and replace his house. Okay, I don't... What? Shenanigans. That was a little bit of free HP that's, I mean, losing 6 HP, not the end of the world, but that was pretty funny. I mean, I found that funny. I don't know if you're going to be able to repair with 1 villager. 170, pardon me, 270, 280, 270, 280, 270, 280. It's just bouncing back and forth like a yo-yo. And now a 5th scout, Daniel, is housed which means he might want to complete, there you go, another house, archery range, internal archery, double archery range internal for our Khmer. Are you going to go cavalry archers as the Khmer? Are you really going to go cav archers as the Khmer? Or are you going to go foot archers? I mean, either way, you're kind of, the only thing you're missing is thumb ring. Okay, let's see it. Do we think it's going to be the slower bipedal, or do we think it's going to be a horsey unit? I'm trying to look at his villager allocation to suss something out. I can't really tell. 14 on wood, 10 on food. For now, both players kind of running around. Both players. Nobody has invested any resources into any upgrades of any kind, except for fletching bloodlines, and it is, in fact, cavalry archers. Okay. Let's see how our Frank responds. Now, the cool thing about the Franks and their cavalry archers is, you know how the Vietnamese, anything that comes out of their archery range comes with 20% more HP? Because technically the cav archer is a mounted cavalry unit, for the Franks it still does come with 20% more HP. Which, I mean, it's good. It's not bloodlines good, which the Franks don't have, but it's still something. So I'm wondering if we're going to get to see some kind of cavalry archer castle age play. I think we've seen Hera go Frankish cav archers in the past and then abandon them for something more melee-esque. But one town center, two town centers going up for our Frank, a second going up for our Khmer, but he's going to be behind. He has caught up in villager count. Right as I say that, of course, Hera retakes his one villager lead. But now with 3 town centers to 2, I'm fearing for our Khmer that his villager count is going to steadily keep falling below his opponent. That being said, army count, he's at double, and it's not a bad double too. Scouts to scouts, and then cav archers to this one knight who remains armor-wise unupgraded. I want to keep over here and stick to the high ground. Husbandry for Hera means his units are going to move a little bit faster. What about you guys? No husbandry for these cav archers. There it is, 24 seconds away. Okay, so with Bosaw, I think it's safe to say, and by the way, the location of this TC, which is fantastic, gold, food, wood, most importantly the wood, I think it's safe to say we're going to get to see some cavalry archer pressure out of our Khmer. But Siege Workshop, we've seen Hera. See if you've seen the short that I put out a few days ago. When you're playing, first of all, when you're playing anybody and you rush into their base, you explore, you find a Siege Workshop on the map, and that Siege Workshop has flags up, beware. What would it be? There's Caveat Emptor, Buyer Beware, Player Beware, Gamer Emptor, or Caveat Gamer, I guess. Okay, getting a villager kill, getting 2 villager kills is our my goodness, is our Khmer. A third one as well. Okay, I mean, there's some pretty good damage here. And the Scorpions are in jeopardy too with their minimum range. He's lost his meat shield, which means he's stuck with just these cav archers. But there is some reinforcement units now. A second dot making its way across the map. Hera just lost 4 villagers. Ugh, that's not good. 4 villagers and delayed a town center. But in all fairness, that is a 4th town center, so delaying it, it's a win with a little W. 2 cavalry archers stop to smell the roses. Melee cavalry for Hera. The knights do intercept and kill them. And Hera's being pulled back. He is not venturing out into the Terra Incognita here. Ooh, missed opportunity maybe to get 1 or 2 more villagers. Daniel is now hugging the very edge of the known world here. Age of Empires, flat earth. He's going to go into the minimum range of the Scorpion. Fantastic. But you got to fire when you're there. Okay. Another knight. Army count still double for our Khmer. He's now added a melee unit, which should be enough to kill at the very least one of these Scorpions. Ooh, maybe not. Hera pulling the villager to repair. My goodness. My goodness, the reaction time of these pro players is incredible. Knights streaming across the map. 2 for red. 2 for blue. Looks like Daniel's cav archers. Look like they tried to huff it off the edge of the world. My favorite glitch in the game. Forget teleporting units. Forget pathing. It's when they hit the edge of the map and then they try to run over it and jump into the abyss. Always reminds me of the ending of the first book in the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, my favorite author and my favorite series of books, actually. The Color of Magic. At the end of that first book, I would say spoiler alert, except I think it was written in like the 80s. They fall off the edge of the world, and then reality has to be readjusted for them to come back. But in any event, that's what it always seems like to me, and that's why I have a soft spot for those units trying to run over the edge of the world. It just reminds me of that series, the Discworld series, and all the fun memories. You know, when you find a TV show or a set of books or a song or an album that really, really speaks to you, it's a good feeling, right? And that's what that reminds me of. So like the smell of warm cookies for some. In any event, more kills here. Hera's surrounded on multiple fronts, but oh, we'll lose a Scorpion now. There's no way that villager's getting anywhere close to repair it. No, but the other Scorpions gunned down the Knight. What about you? Okay, there we go. So I called the wrong Scorpion, but ultimately gets it. Bolt flaring off the edge of the map there. And now Daniel notices that, hey, wait a second, I've pressed you back. You are not pressing into me. I don't see any blue dots around my base. So why don't I just keep applying the pressure? 13 cavalry archers, 6 knights. Hera has very little at home to deal with these knights, by the way. And these Scorpions are incredibly exposed. Does he not see the knights? Oh, he's completely blind in this part of the map. Oh, that is incredibly sour for Hera. He needs to guard these Scorpions with his life right now, because there are more and more knights coming. I think Daniel senses it. Hera, for his part, is training a Mangonel, and what else behind this? Another stable. That's going to take him up to 2 whole stables. He's ahead 18 villagers now, so 25% bigger economy. Daniel, though, is not doing a 1-town center all-in. This is a 3-town center play for him, and so he is comfortably growing his eco. And here we go. Mangonel is down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Scorpions and a Mangonel in exchange for 2 knights. Not exactly Schlachter privileged knights, full price knights, but that's not a bad get at all for our Khmer, who now again senses blood in the water and is moving forward with a very aggressive castle. We had a game recently where the Sicilian was pressing in to the Dravidian, and the Donjons, another Mangonel down. The Donjons were aggressive, but with a little a aggressive. This is a capital A aggressive. Siege Workshop, primary gold, 2 town centers, and like I said, Bermuda Triangle of absolute shitty resource placement here for our Khmer, who says, you know what I want? Another castle for Christmas. I guess I should have said, you know what I want for Christmas? Another castle. That would have been much more dramatic and poetic. But Hera doing what every pro player does. If you squeeze me to the top, I'll just expand to the south. Like one of those stress dolls that you squeeze. Those little beanie bag dolls. More villagers are dying, but to be fair, so are Cav Archers. 3 Cav Archers, maybe 4 if he doesn't move this one. And it looks like Daniel wants to bust the hell out of this base. Take the high ground at the very least. He does. That being said, look at our Frank. He's got up to 5 stables. He's unfortunately housed at 120, and he is training 6 knights at a time. But his town center is about to fall. I don't see any villagers making any attempt to repair this after that one falls. Does he have a replacement siege workshop? He does not. No, pardon me, he does in the back. Okay. My audible gasp there. So siege workshop in the front, town center, and now a second TC is in jeopardy. But like I said, both players, when we look at their bases, they have carved up good chunks of the map for themselves. Lots and lots of resources still available here for our Frank, whose second town center is about to fall. The OG town center for the OG cavalry civilization from the OG game. Oh, and look at that. Look at that. Daniel, he's going to see this move out. Let's see if he actually sees the move out, if you know what I mean. It's one thing to have the ability to see it. It's another thing to see it. And yes, I see a red dot streaming south. Even the wolves are attacking. Daniel's trying to shove his knights into here, but there is a massive gauntlet. 18. Hera is now outnumbered in terms of military. Almost 15. And it looks like to the south, those knights have caught up. Rather, that knight has caught the villagers. They'll keep an eye on that in picture. Daniel, I don't know that you really want to engage underneath a full TC here. I've said it before, Castle Age Knights versus Town Center is still not a great fight, no matter how you slice it. Okay, no more gold mining operation. Couple of outposts looking at one another. And Hera says, you know what? I've run as far as I can. I'm just going to defend myself now. There's no point in running. I need these resources, otherwise I can't win the game. And that is exactly what he's doing. And now it's evident why Daniel was trying to create a gap here. Although might want to take down this house. Otherwise his knights have to pivot from here all the way here. Hera is 40 seconds away from Imperial Age. Discounted Castle is already up, which means he's going to have Trebs out. So as pressured as he has been, as incredible as the aggression has been from Daniel, there is now a 20-second clock on him. Plus the training time of a Treb. Plus the slow attack time, etc. He might lose a castle if he doesn't rush up to Imperial. He's still mining stone. He's got 1,000 stone. Okay, so he's not going to lose that castle. Not against one trebuchet. Final armor upgrade for the Frankish cavalry. Daniel has killed 26 villagers so far. But is it enough? 28 action to the south. And now Hera. Hera is trying to bust into Daniel's base. He does this all the time. Hey, you press into me, I'm going to press into you. Look at the mini-map. Where the hell am I supposed to focus as a caster? Tell me, do I look to the south where cavalry archers have wedged themselves into a nook and are taking out knights? Do I pivot to the southern center part of the map where the knights for our Khmer are ravaging the economy yet again? Do I look at Hera's penetration of Daniel's base? Do I look at these villagers hanging around? I don't know where the hell to look. There's so much action on the map, and unfortunately for Daniel, too much action. And wow, at the end of the day, look at that. A minute ago, Hera had no villager kills, barely any, and Daniel had them all. And now look at it. Wow, you have to assume Hera's going to do this to you, right? Every game we've seen where he somehow manages to flip an L into a W. I wouldn't say maybe every game, but like 8 times out of 10, there's an element of this, of a counter attack, counter raid. He always, whether it succeeds or not, doesn't matter. The fact that he does it should clue everybody in that they, especially with 1,200 stone, you should be much better walled in than this. I mean, this is not even fully walled in. This is completely open here. But Daniel just didn't get the critical damage done, even though, holy moly, did he lame the primary gold, the tertiary gold, and the secondary? No, sorry, this was the primary stone, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that was the primary stone that was lamed. Hera was literally left with his secondary gold and his secondary stone, and then a bit of gold over here that he did he even mine? Absolutely not. Did he mine over here? Absolutely not. Somehow, Hera managing by literally the skin of his teeth to hold on. And even though the Treb hasn't popped out, even though the Cavalier upgrade is still 10 seconds away, it doesn't matter. He's an Imperial. His opponent's nowhere close. He's got a third of the food. He's got half of the gold. And now all of a sudden his food is completely in jeopardy. Even though, again, he's the Khmer. They introduced a new garrison button. So he should have been able to highlight his villagers and hit that button. Let them run into TC's houses. Not too sure why Daniel lost the villagers that he did. Maybe he was just so focused on here. And I mean, I took us on a tour of the action. There was just all of a sudden the last minute of this game. Pardon my French, but the shit really did hit the fan. And it just went everywhere. Hera's base is on fire. Daniel's base is on fire. The only difference is one player is in Imperial, one player is in Castle Age, one player is about to have a Treb and Cavaliers, and the other player is stuck on Knights. And even though they're +2/+2, and even though he has a presence here, which means that Treb can't really be very active at the moment, there are 3 pretty strong Knights that will kill that Treb, and it's pathetic melee armor. I don't know. Did Daniel GG too early? If he could have just protected his villagers, if he could have not lost 40 villagers. Let's take a look at this. What do we think? 38-25. Let's go to 37-25 and see how many villager kills Hera had. He had 1. He had 1 villager kill a minute ago. And then all of a sudden, look at this. Absolute insanity. And by the way, this is without iron casting. This is just forging. Literally in 60 seconds. I mean, I don't know why it says 40. It should say 44, no? Well, whatever it is, 40, 44, 104, 1,000,004, doesn't matter. The Khmer economy inexplicably gutted. The villagers inexplicably exposed out in the open despite the presence of, I don't know why I clicked the mill. Despite the presence of houses and town centers everywhere. These villagers are primed to be saved by their structures. But unfortunately, Daniel just, I guess, dropped the ball back home, and what looked like a pretty much solid attack leading into a nice little victory for him just completely got Uno reverse carded, and Hera manages to hold it home, even though, again, how many knights? 30 knights to 31. What are the total numbers here? 44. Yeah, Daniel just outnumbered him. This is like 30% more, almost 40% more army, 40% more knights than your opponent. And to be fair, there's nothing particularly special in Castle Age about the Frankish knight. Yeah, okay, you get bloodlines for free because you get 20% extra HP. Great. That doesn't mean anything. The units are actually weaker, they're outnumbered, and somehow, and I say somehow, but we all know how, this, literally a minute ago, I can't believe I rewinded it. Rewinded, whatever the word is, to a minute ago, and there was 1 villager kill. Hera getting 39 kills. And by the way, if the game didn't end, Hera would get another 39 in the blink of an eye. The only thing garrisoned in this Khmer base is the 4 relics that he's got. So Daniel, my goodness, he was on the cusp, on the verge of taking this game. I didn't even realize he got 4 relics right until right now. 4 relics, bigger army, map presence, laming 3 of the 5 original patches of resources, laming the external resources, making them unmineable. And Hera with that 1 attack. If this didn't happen, I don't think our Khmer would have GG'd. I think he would have continued to fight, even when a Treb popped out, because look at Hera's resources. Oh, Hera got real, I don't want to say lucky, because it's not luck, it's skill. But it's so close was Daniel. I mean, this is like, you could smell that victory, and then the door shuts, the window shuts, and the smell is gone. I don't know why I chose a smell analogy. That's pretty gross. Hera, PKPM, a little bit below his usual 200 to 300, right towards the end of the game, 26 minutes in. Right at the end of the game is our Khmer's PKPM. Oh my goodness. And no, he was not ahead in economy. He was ahead in the gold and the stone, which is nice. As cheap as Frankish castles are, if you deny them their stone, they just can't place castles. And out of those castles, they can't train Trebs. But Hera getting a bit more food, Hera getting a lot more wood. How much wood did he win with? Okay. Well, there's your answer. Wood, farms, infrastructure, houses, stables. How many stables? Is the same 5? No, now he's up to 7 stables. And now he's in Imperial Age. And now he's got all his good upgrades, chivalry more importantly, although I don't think he can afford it, to make them work 40% faster, just pump out more and more units. But Daniel literally had the victory stolen right out of his hands by Hera's counterattack. And I mean, this is hopefully a lesson that Daniel learns and hopefully does not repeat, because he was so close. He could taste it. But of course, you're playing against the best player in the world, and so nothing is ever assured, nothing is ever guaranteed. And as good as you are, you have to always make sure you are protected, and you have to always make sure that back home you do not literally look around here for 60 seconds and then lose a third of your economy, literally a third of your economy. And now, even though Hera has lost more villagers, the Daniel is down 3 vills on the whole. And wow, what a game. What a fantastic display of aggression. What an amazing defense. And by the way, kudos to Daniel for sussing this movement out. If he didn't discover this movement, Hera would be sitting on paladins right now. But he did with that outpost and the villager. But more importantly, he saw the units. He didn't just have the ability to see them on the map. He actually saw them. He responded and he killed a good number of them. Hera pushed back out of here. What is he going for over here? What are you? You are lumberjacks who are holding pickaxes. So make it make sense. Maybe they were right-click to this gold patch or this gold patch. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, Daniel's going to see it anyway, and he's going to send this knight straight over. Is that knight heading over? No, he's just chilling there. What? A ridiculously fun game, but ultimately Hera with the counterattack, the greatest counterattack of the day, takes the W, but GG in a very hard-fought battle. Look at the kill count, incredibly close to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.